There are so many people in the scriptures that upheld the standard of righteousness, the standard of holiness. People like Abraham, people like Job, and so many other people who held on the baton of righteousness and also passed it on to the next generation, their children. But there's a passage I read this morning that touched me so much. That is the book of Job chapter 1 from verse 1 to 9. The Bible said that Job was a very wealthy man. Very, very wealthy man. He had a lot of axes, yoke of oxen, sheep, and the rest of them, a lot of animals. And then he was blessed with 10 children, 7 sons and 3 daughters. And these sons, according to the Bible, they lived in their own houses. And each time they organize feasts, they organize party, they organize ceremonies. And whenever anyone happened to organize any of the party or ceremony, they will invite their 3 sisters to come and dine with them, to come and feast with them, to come and enjoy with them. And there's something that touched me so much. Whenever they organize this party and enjoy themselves, Job will always take from his animals the number of those people who attended the party, and he will offer them as burnt offering very early in the morning on the altar before God. His reasons were simple. But who knows, at the course of the party, during the celebration, maybe his children must have cursed God in their hearts. Not just cursing God verbally, not just cursing God by their action, not just sinning against him by their words, by their behavior in the course of partying. But he said, peradventure they had cursed God in their hearts. He will go ahead to atone for their sins. He was an upright man. He was a righteous man. He was a man of integrity. So he doesn't want anything to stain his garment of righteousness. And he doesn't want, when he is weighed in the balance of the word of God, to be found wanting. He doesn't want it to ever come to the point in his life that even when he is not guilty of any sin, but his children will be guilty of one sin or the other, and it will be attached to him. Remember, the Bible says there is no way a father will eat the sour grape, and the teeth of the children will be set at edge. But Job always thought about his children maintaining the standard of righteousness and integrity. And at this point, he always see that if these people go beyond or below the commandment of God, the sin will be attached to him. That was his thought. That was his mindset. And he did everything possible to make sure they maintained the standard of godliness and righteousness wherever they were. Job was an example of righteousness, example of godliness, example of purity, to the point that when the children of God gathered, Job said to Satan, because when they gathered, Satan also came. God said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? In all the earth there is no one as upright as he is. Then God gave testimony of this man's righteousness. Now the question is, in all your doings, in all of our activities, can God look down from heaven and see that in our places of work, in our places of duty, in our places of ministry, can God look down and see that this person always upholds godliness, righteousness? Can God give a testimony that we are among those people in our generation that will pass on the baton of godliness and righteousness to our children? Can we be that example of holiness? Can we be enlisted among those people that when they are weighed in the balance of the word of God, they will never be found wanting? God gave a very good testimony of Job. I want to leave that line that if God will be interviewed, he will have something good to say about me. He will be able to boldly say, this person is righteous, this person is holy. And we need to walk towards it. Job walked towards his righteousness. Remember, Jesus hasn't died then. He walked perfectly towards his righteousness. And now Jesus has done everything for us. We have no excuse.